Imagine waking up to a perfect spring day, only to have it turn into a nightmare by nightfall. This is the story of Christi Meeks. On January 19th, 5-year-old Christi Meeks vanished from her apartment complex in Mesquite, Texas, as a fierce norther blew in. Lieutenant Larry Sprague knew he had a big problem when he got the call about Christi's disappearance. Child abductions are a detective's worst nightmare, especially when there's no clear motive or leads. In the past, children were taken for ransom, but now, the reasons are more sinister and varied. Sprague faced the daunting task of finding a child who had seemingly disappeared into thin air. The Charter Oaks apartments were a maze, making it easy for someone to vanish without a trace. Christi's mother, Linda Peacock, and her stepfather were desperate for answers as the search began. Witnesses were scarce, and the few children who saw something had conflicting stories. As the night wore on, the search intensified, but the freezing temperatures made it even more challenging. By 2 a.m., Sprague had to call off the search, hoping for better luck the next day. Christi's father, Mike Meeks, was devastated and blamed himself for not being there to protect her. Mike and his family organized their own searches, desperate to find any clue about Christi's whereabouts. The community rallied, raising a reward fund and putting up billboards with Christi's photo. Enter Bill Deere, a controversial and successful private detective known for finding lost children. Deere's compound was a fortress, filled with high-tech security and a gallery of his media coverage. Deere had a reputation for solving high-profile cases, including the disappearance of Dallas Egbert. Despite the Meeks family's limited funds, Deere took on the case, driven by the challenge and potential publicity. Deere's first step was to follow up on the police's work, including a composite sketch of the suspect. The investigation was flooded with tips, but most were dead ends or wild theories. Deere focused on the Charter Oaks complex, convinced that someone there knew something. The complex's layout and transient population made it a perfect place for someone to disappear. Deere's team, including investigators Riddle and Villanueva, worked tirelessly to track down leads. They even consulted psychics, one of whom provided eerily specific details about the abduction. Despite their efforts, the investigation hit numerous roadblocks, with suspects slipping through their fingers. Months passed with no new leads, and the case seemed to grow colder by the day. Then, on April 3rd, a child's body was found floating in Lake Texoma, dressed in clothes matching Christi's. The initial identification was botched, but eventually, it was confirmed to be Christi Meeks. The discovery brought a strange sense of relief to Mike Meeks, who finally had some closure. Bill Deere, though relieved, knew the case was far from over and vowed to find Christi's killer. With new information and a renewed sense of purpose, Deere continued his relentless pursuit of justice. The story of Christi Meeks is a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the relentless pursuit of truth. Stay vigilant, stay safe.